Hey everyone, it's Mark G here. I wanted to do a short video on the Tesla Offer Power Liftgate kit that I installed over the weekend and share some tips and tricks. So as I mentioned, the most difficult part of the install is getting the wire bundle that comes out of the trunk through this rubber wire cover and up through the liftgate. So to do this properly and without too much pain, I removed this obviously to put the wire fisher in, but also disconnected or took apart the wire zip ties here. So you can put a small screwdriver to push them out and loosen this out and get it out of the way. Most importantly, when you pull this out, you can actually push it up a little bit, kind of compress the tube and make sure that it goes around this metal piece so that you can get it as straight as possible in a line that makes sense for the wire fisher to go straight in. When you connect the wire bundle, make sure that you tape them up together and that it's not too bulky. So once you pull that through, take your time. It took me a good half hour. You're pretty much in the clear as far as putting the wire through the liftgate area. The rest is pretty easy. When you tap the wires, make sure the wire tap, the posi tap they call it, is properly connected. Strip the wire enough, otherwise it won't work very well. For the bumper removal, wasn't too bad. I installed the optional foot sensor down there. Just make sure that when you take all the bolts out, you also take out a screw in here. So slightly difficult to see, but there's a screw that needs to be taken out for you to be able to pull the bumper out this way a little bit. Next up, I also installed the optional button that goes in the drive. So to find the location where you would put that in, because it needs a pretty big hole to drill in this panel, make sure you pick the location accurately first. After you move this panel, you'll see there's a bit of a deeper area around where I put it in, because this button has a pretty big backside to it. So when I ran the wire through, I make sure I had a lot of slack to be flexible and to where to place it. This button is also backlit all the time, so I put it pretty deep and far up so that when I'm sitting in the driver position, can't see it. Otherwise, it might get pretty annoying. So to close it, just press it. You can hear the liftgate close. To open it, you can also use this button, but obviously using the touchscreen is more convenient. And if you do want to open it with this button, you have to hold it for 3 seconds. Otherwise, it won't open. All right, I did not run the power cable through here because you have to remove a bunch of other panels down here, and also getting to the power connector is pretty painful. You have to unglue a connector that I didn't want to mess with. So I think that's all the tips I wanted to share. It looks pretty nice. The cables for the actual struts goes under the tail light cover here. It doesn't look too bad. It's the only obvious thing, but otherwise it's pretty clean. I really like this trunk button. It looks pretty OEM, and this is back together the way that it would be normally, so there's no obvious evidence that it's been updated except for this cable, like I said. But it's pretty neat. I can't really see it from here. Foot sensor took a little bit of getting used to, but works pretty well, and I'm happy with it. So hope this was useful. Take your time, 6 hours for me. I'm not an expert, but I'm sure it can be done faster. Just take your time and enjoy it. Results great.